Whenever you're ready.
Oh, yeah, I'm good that with the tick, tick, tick.
I know, yeah, I've not got the tick, tick, tick anymore.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I'll have to make the...
Yeah, got to count myself in my own head.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, and welcome to the Gems of Rock podcast, where we talk all things rock music. I'm DJ, and across from me is my best mate, DB.
Hello! We're back. Theme song. Eventually, yeah. We've been back for 5 minutes, and I've already messed this up.
Yeah, ring rust. Let's get rid of that ring rust. ASAP Rocky.
Mate, we've been gone for a bit.
Yeah, we had a little break. Life gets in the way.
Yeah. But we're back.
I'm just like trying to pretend I have a life. That might be part of it. Like, it's not like me. It's like, oh, what video game or series am I not going to binge watch or go back to an old familiar series that we've always watched before?
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, I've been listening to all the rock music albums. That's what I've been doing. I've been taking up all of the time listening to all of the music.
Doing in-depth research and professional readings.
Absolutely. What was it? The fact that you came up a while ago. Once you hit a certain age, you don't actually. It's really difficult to discover new music.
The age of 30, it drops off a cliff somewhere rotten.
I mean, I'm very close.
No,
to
mate,
that
I'm early. Yeah, I've always.
You can peak too early, son. Like your dad.
Yeah. I've always been successful in certain aspects, and I've just nailed it. You know,
Yeah.
You always had a reading age a little bit above your chronological age.
Nope.
All right.
Blowing your own trumpet there. Not mine.
I've always been blowing my own trumpet. I've been trying. Like, to the fact you've eventually cracked me, and I've had TikTok these past couple of months.
Yeah, you gotta have TikTok.
And it's good. It's good for discovering new music, getting lists. But it's one of the first topics I want to bring up. TikTok and Spotify, and lads, you can have this one for free because I know you're listening. Corporate for both of your companies. They need to team up better.
Right.
Because I'm trying to save TikToks about, top songs of this year or top bands in this genre, top this, top the other. And I can't be asked then, like, I need to have my phone in one hand and almost like Spotify on my tablet or laptop or something to then transfer the songs or... I need there to be a take me to Spotify button.
Like on Spotify, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good
Do you know what I mean?
idea,
Something they can, like a hyperlink, a quick share, add to playlist. There needs to be some crossover or compatibility. Because, like, before we started recording today, I was like, oh, I saved this one down, for top 10 songs of this or, bands in this genre. Yeah, but it just needs to start working together.
Yep. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. There needs to be a bit of better
because I'm trying to not fall into that pit of, like, I've not listened to any new music. Like, you played a TikTok for me earlier, like, and I've played one for you. There was, like, songs turning X in 2023, like, 10 years old.
It's not okay, that, is it?
15 years old.
I think that's a good episode that we can do, like, songs. We'll just upset each other with a list of songs
you've already upset me
turning
before we
20
recorded.
this year or something.
And you played one, and I think it's from about All That Remains, 2 weeks, I think it's called.
Mm.
And I'm pretty sure I only discovered it like mid last year. And I knew it wasn't a new release, but I'd only stumbled across it for whatever reason. Like, I put like a daily mix on or a metal playlist, or whatever Spotify was kind of like conjuring up for me, and it's become a song I quite like. But it was like, oh, here's me trying to discover new music, and I'm discovering music from 2008. Great effort. Like, I'm still working through the late 2000s.
Yeah.
Like, I've got no hope. Absolute no hope.
I'm exactly the same. And then you just fall into the same trap of like, oh, this is really good. This is a really good new song by this band that I really love, but I also really like this. It's like I was listening to, like, again, loads has come out since we've stopped recording. Yeah. So I was listening to some of the new Slipknot stuff, and I was like, this is really fucking good. And then I went back and I was like, Opium of the People. I really like that song. And then I just literally fall back into that and then Wait and Bleed and then literally just step backwards in time and start listening to all the old stuff again.
Yeah, it's so hard to absorb a new album. I feel like you're doing well if you pick up one or two tracks. And then it's like, what's the right way to do it? Like, they've designed that album in a certain way, so you want to try and listen to it all the way through.
Yeah.
But either, you've listened to it while you're having a shower or you're making tea or you're on the way to work or whatever. So only get through the first 3 or 4 songs, and then you try listening to it again, and you start at the beginning. Do you pick up where you left off?
Yeah.
Or do you put it on shuffle to give you a full range of the album? Because, like, if we go back to, again, just showing that I've not kept up and I've just owned one album in all of 2022, Bullet for My Valentine's self-titled.
Yeah.
I would have been remiss and pissed if I hadn't got to Death by 1,000 Cuts.
Yeah.
Track 10, track 11, whatever it is on the album is, towards that back end. that's probably become like a real grower and my possible favourite. Obviously, Knives and all the other ones they released as singles had an absolute
shatter. There's some really cracking
there's such a head start.
Yes.
But Death by a Thousand Cuts was really. But imagine if I'd never had really committed to listening to that album. One, to talk about on the podcast. Two, because I just like self-hyped myself up. So like I've listened to that album a couple of times, but I don't think I've gone all the way through it.
No, I don't think I have.
Giving it like, I'm not saying you have to do it in one sitting and just like put everything else aside, but it's hard. So you pick up one or two tracks here and there, and I think you're doing well if you manage that.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. But yeah, so speaking of artists that have brought new stuff out, obviously Paramore have brought some new stuff out. They've released a new song this week. Obviously, they've released 3 new tracks since last time. I think last time we were on, I was still going, Danny, they're coming back. They're coming back, Danny. Haley's coming back. Haley's coming back. And then they released This Is Why, and I was like, ah. Oh no.
DVDs! Books.
But you know what? It's grown on me. It has grown on me, and it is a really good song. And at first I was saying it's a really good song if you kind of forget that it's a Paramore song. If you're just listening to it and it's just like a new track that's come out and it's
if you've got a preconceived notion of what you want Paramore to be,
exactly,
a specific album, a specific energy, a specific.
And I think I had that, and obviously the old stuff still exists, so it's fine. The old stuff doesn't disappear by me not liking what's new. It's absolutely fine. But I think more to the fact that when we did Paramore and we did the Hayley Williams stuff and we listened to a lot of the Hayley Williams solo stuff, I was like, this is good, but it's not what I tuned in for and signed up for with Hayley and Paramore. So in my head I was like, she's bringing Paramore back. It's going to be amazing. And then when it was a bit kind of like a bit her older stuff, I was a bit like, oh, that's fine. But it has grown on me. And now that they're touring again and they're doing all the old stuff and seeing her sing like songs like All I Wanted and reaching those notes live on stage again, it's just, again, we're watching videos of people just simping out over Hayley Williams, and I'm still in that mindset. I'm just like, yeah, can do no wrong. But yeah, their latest song, C'est Comme Ça, which is, it's like that, it translates as. But if I played you a little bit from one of the verses or a little bit from one of the choruses and told you it was Wet Leg, you'd absolutely go, all right, cool, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, because that's what it is. they've found a formula of like, oh, we'll just speak words dead quickly for a bit, and then I really catch your chorus, and I'm like, yeah, fair enough. It's a good track. It's really fun. But it is very much. This could be a Wet Leg track.
Yeah, you can throw a formulaic round as an insult or as a compliment, depending on how effective it's about execution, isn't it?
Absolutely, compliment. I really like Wet Leg. I really like all the stuff they come out with. They seem really fun, and the fact that they blew up via TikTok, I think is dead cool. So I'd love to go see Wet Leg live. But yeah, that Paramore song very much could be just like from that Wet Leg album. Absolutely.
Yeah, TikTok's a crazy one. Like it's mad. Like Lewis Capaldi's recently come out and talk about like let it blow up on TikTok, or using TikTok. It's such crazy how that as a social media platform is really pushing some songs and not others. Like either because it creates a dance, because it creates a clip, because it creates it's mad. And you wonder how many artists are thinking, oh, this could be a TikTok song.
Yes.
Are they recording something with a hook enough for 30 seconds, 45 seconds to be able to dance to be able to do something, to stitch something together? You do wonder, because I don't know if they've just got a good, someone at TikTok, but the band Bad Omens, all over mine in terms of whenever I've got anything a bit metal, emo, goth, insert your buzzword here.
Yeah.
Bad Omens are either the backing track or they're always mentioning top songs of this, top songs of that. So I have been trying to get into them, but equally it's hard to easily get them. Like I said, have the feature, bring them across.
Exactly. It's like going, remembering who they were, or going and liking a track. And
like you quickly click the heart, and then you move on, and you're suddenly 10 videos deep watching someone like repair the shelf, and like, oh, this is interesting.
It's so bad, isn't it? Yeah. So I have to go to bed earlier now because I know I'll be on TikTok on my phone for about 2.5 hours. Yeah. It's just so bad. It's pretty. But yeah, I've discovered, again, not sort of rock music, but I think I played some for you. There's a guy called Ren, who used to be in a band called The Big Push, but he's come out with some, he's been doing solo stuff for years, but some of his stuff's really blowing up at the minute, and it's pretty much all I've been listening to for the past few months is songs by him. And then there's another guy called Seb Lowe, who does a lot of just acoustic-based anti-Tory songs that are just really fun, just like really quick. They're really good. But yeah, it's such a TikTok's such a powerful tool now for promoting music and promoting everything. I've not heard any of their music, but I liked a video about, I think it was the Snuts, and basically it was them going round and hiding all the Arctic Monkeys albums in HMV so that their album could do a bit better in the shop. And I was like, that is a fantastic idea. That is really good. So yeah, this is a TikTok episode. Let's just
well, we could it's just that whole idea of discovering, because obviously I think we'll try and talk about our top songs of 2022. We did Spotify Wrapped last year. We can do Spotify Wrapped again. Definitely not a lot of surprises on mine. There's not many other artists I've discovered recently. I have been on a bit of a binge, and again, it's just like, where have you been all my life?
Do it. Sorry. Clicked a button.
And 2 or 3 of their tracks, and now I'm obsessed with.
Yeah.
I forget what part of Scandinavia they're from. I think the Finnish. I'll have to double check. But it's a band called Sabaton. I played them for you recently.
You did. I was gonna. Yeah.
And they seem to do loads of songs about history. So yes, shock horror if you've ever listened to an episode before. I'm a tad bit of a nerd, and I've never been huge on history. But it's like, if I can listen and learn at the same time, like, I don't care how fucking much of a loser I sound, genuinely enjoying it. So there's someone I've discovered. They have about 3 million monthly listeners. It's just like a weird combination of, because I've been on that bit of the Viking rock hype as well.
Sure.
I've been mentioning Peyton Parrish a lot, who does a lot of Disney rock covers, which are just, I'm in the middle of that Venn diagram.
Yeah.
Give me some Disney, give me some rock covers, I'm all about it. But yeah, Sabaton are really good, but everything's like based around like ancient battles or, something historical, particularly war. It's like, yeah, rock, guns, violence. Like, they've got one called Shiriyama, and it seems to all be about the last stand of the samurai, and I don't know how historically accurate it is. I believe they were the last major rebellion, but one of my favourite films is The Last Samurai. Now, I don't know how much historical comparison, which is more accurate than the other, but it was just one of those brilliant ones, like, I love that film, love watching it with my dad, love this song, like, this is ticking a load of boxes. I've discovered them. Well, I've not discovered. Like, I have found them for my own personal taste.
Yeah.
Oh, Swedish. I was wrong. I'm not going to mix that up and offend a whole nation. And
we do have all the nations.
All the nations worldwide, man.
Waiting for us to come back. They've been waiting patiently for us to make our glorious return. Yeah. All over the world.
Work sucks. I blame work.
I'll blame everything.
Blame life.
Yeah, absolutely.
But no, I've not discovered many other people recently.
No, again, mine haven't been very heavy, the ones I've found. I've been recommended a band called Implicit, which are a local band.
Bland?
It's a blend. It's a blend of bands. And but yeah, they're St. Anne's based, and they've got I think the odd track out on Spotify, which I'll put in the episode description when I put this out. But yeah, give them a check out because they're really good. Again, always people wanting to go, oh, can you say something nice about us? And I was like, it depends if the music's any good, and it is pretty good. So I was like, yeah, of course I will. But yeah, I just had a quick scan at my Spotify Wrapped, and mine is mostly either bands me getting hyped for Rebellion last year. It was going
training yourself.
Yeah, literally falling into that pit again, and then a lot of indie stuff. Like, I fell in an indie hole.
Yeah, you like, I don't want to say it, but some of your metal credentials have been under review at times this past year. Like, you have epitomised, he's a bit of an indie cunt.
I mean, I don't think I look that bad because we've got Fell. So I think I can be as indie cunt as I want, but I'm never going to be that height, so it's fine. I look okay.
It's not about the look. I just mean, like, just what you've been listening to, what you've been enjoying. Like, mine is a bit more of a better CV, even though that was a crap sentence. But mine is like, equally just showing how I've just regressed.
Yeah.
So again, songs that are 15 years old that we were playing for each other, and I was like, no, absolute tune. I've been bumming that recently. It's like, why am I still like obsessing about 3 Days Grace or playing more 3 Days Grace in 2022/2023? But yeah, mine was no shocker. Bullet top of the list. It was it's happened consistently on my Spotify over the past 3 or 4 years, let alone in the year they release a new album.
Yeah, Bullet always make mine. Yeah, Bullet always.
Five Finger Death Punch, A Day to Remember, Disturbed, Bring Me the Horizon, and then weirdly, I always love for Spotify Wrapped how my top artists don't necessarily match my top songs, or they're not. There's not much overlap.
Sure.
So for everyone I've just named. Okay, my top song is Metalingus by Alter Bridge.
Yes.
That's my top song of last year.
I mean, you must have properly hauled that out.
Yeah, a little bit. Then
you're a massive Edge fan. Just get right into WWE again.
I've just been spearing cunts all over the place.
Oh, I mean, I'm cutting that right out. That's the soundbite for this new episode that's come out. Just been spearing cunts left, right and centre.
I'm just the rated R geography teacher, you know what I mean? Just about this guy. Just
yes, mate.
They're comparing the price of milk in this like cost of living crisis. You think you know me? Sparing some for the last carton of eggs. Yeah, but then Animal I Have Become.
Yes.
Is number 2, 3 Days Grace.
Again, 2006, I think, because it was just on that little TikTok I played you.
Deep into. Oh, I want to pretend I've still got hair. And I'm at school.
It's not always cracked up to me,
and no bills. Lying is the most fun.
Yeah.
That's my number 3.
You gotta get the full title. If you're gonna say it, you gotta.
I can't. Well, Spotify clips it. Is Lying is the Moss. Then it's got 3 ellipses. So
Lying is the Moss.
Lying is the Moss, obviously. Then Almost Easy by Avenged.
Yes.
So again, none of my top artists actually mentioned here. And then number 5, This Place by Jamie Webster.
Oh, mate, yeah.
So it's like, a little bit acoustic. I am quite proud, and I think it's always my favourite bit of Spotify Wrapped. Where you are in the top artist, or who your top artist is, and where you sit in theirs.
Yeah.
So I was the top 0.5% of Bullet for My Valentine listeners.
That's heavy, man.
With
that's fucking cool.
1,384 minutes. Like, my sister Emily occasionally listens to the pod and, critiques it. She was in the top 2% of Taylor Swift fans.
I mean, that's...
And I think she had more minutes than I did for Bullet, do you know what I mean? She was in, 2 and a bit thousand. Like, that she put some effort into Taylor Swift. Like, and to be fair, until we connected her account with our Alexa in the kitchen, she was polluting my Spotify a bit. And I was getting a bit worried what it was going to do to mine.
Yeah.
But it does bring me on to something, if you don't mind.
Go for it, man.
I'm really confused where I sit with genres.
Okay.
And, we've spoken about before the umbrella term of rock and how they branch off. And I'm not talking about gatekeeping per se, but it's...
New Year, New Metal.
New Year, New Metal. But it's the idea of, where do you draw the line between metal and then the subgenres that split off metal, the different types of metal? Because I can't quite figure out where I fit between metal and metalcore. Because I seem to fit on some middle ground. Because again, it's these TikToks of my top 10 metalcore songs. And it's like, oh, that's a bit growly, even for me. That's a bit deep, resonant, just back of the throat shit. And then,
here's a lozenge.
Yeah.
Go sit down.
You need some Cavonia. And they're metal. And I just don't know quite where I fit in those worlds. I'm really struggling with genres at the moment. I don't know how you find it personally.
See, I think I really struggled with it for a bit because I really wanted to identify. When you're a kid, you want to be this. I identify
a sense of belonging.
Exactly. I'm part of this group, and I like these things, and this identifies me. Whereas I think the older you just give less of a fuck. So I don't try and paint myself into boxes anymore. So whereas, like I say, my Spotify Wrapped isn't very metal heavy, but the ones that I don't know, it's difficult deciding where you sit, but I think it's also difficult when you hear a song and trying to place it within so many, as in it's got to be this, and this to be this.
Yes.
I think it'll upset artists who release music to go, well, we don't want it, we weren't doing it to tick boxes, we were doing it to just be a fucking good song.
Yeah,
but
it's just more I
agree. It's
just the confusion of what blurs the lines, and so it was mentioned one metalcore song in it as A Day to Remember. I was like, well, I fucking love A Day to Remember. Yeah. I didn't know if I'd put them in metalcore. Maybe they've got metalcore elements, or they do a metalcore style song. Mm-hmm. And then someone mentioned I Prevail, and I quite like a few of theirs. And it was just like, right, well, when is it I like elements of metalcore? How much is the metalcore scale versus the metal scale? And then you've got alternative metal, new metal.
Yeah. I'm like that. So I don't like painting myself into a box. I don't like being this, that, and the other until someone goes, well, you're like, if someone tries to claim that they're something, and then I go, no, you're not that. I am this. It's like emo. It's like people come out and they go like, oh, I'm emo because I like such and such. And I'm like, you weren't there when it was written.
You merely adopted the emo.
Yeah.
I was born in it, molded by it.
Don't preach the dark magic.
I didn't see Panic into a Disco till I was a boy.
Yeah.
Oh, you've got Narnia. I went Batman.
Yeah. I was there when it was written. But
But I think it's more just my one of those kind of tendencies in my brain. I'm trying to figure out the box. I don't care which box I'm in.
Yeah.
But the boxes are confusing me, so I'm trying to where is the overlap? Where's the scale? Give me the Dulex color wheel of metal, and so I can figure out what shade.
It's weird. I find really weird now is bumping into people who massive artists and So to me, they mean low. So I was listening. I was listening to one the other day, and they were really into the alternative music and this kind of thing. So singing along to Sum 41 songs and Blink-182 and this kind of thing. And I was like, oh, perfect. Yeah. What about Linkin Park? I don't really like Linkin Park. I was like, what do you mean you don't really like? And it's to know that you can't imagine that anyone that fits in with anywhere within that Venn diagram. That there are artists like that you kind of go,
have you missed that?
How has that not been built? It's not, is it? You base it on your own experiences. Again, we've both got the Meteora, you more than me, and like Minutes to Midnight, and like listening to those albums and having those experiences with them and stuff. And like, so it's looking things through your own eyes, not through their eyes. It's very kind of bizarre when you speak to people. And go, oh yeah, I'm not really that big of a fan of Linkin Park.
Yeah, or have you picked up this but not picked up that? Exactly. On the journey?
Yeah, so that blew my mind the other day. That was kind of like, I don't understand how you've got here and not hit this checkpoint on the way. How have you worked your way round here? You've gone a long way round.
Yeah, I do kind of want to work on it because like otherwise it's gonna be I'll just be there like 50, 60 years old, getting close to retirement, just still like. But then will songs have new meanings? Or when I'm then singing "Comatose" by Skillet, like will that have like a new meaning? I don't want to not have an argument or discussion, but bring up a meme you sent me a few months ago, using Rick and Morty pictures of.
Oh, I'll have this out with you. I'll have this out with you because it's right. The meme's on point.
Nah, mate.
Oh, he's coming at me.
Dropping with the mates.
Coming at me. Yeah.
But it was Corey Taylor and Slipknot versus Corey Taylor and Stone Sour, and it was two pictures from Rick and Morty. One of some like Wastelander Gladiator, and one of young Rick with his guitar on a stool.
Yep.
Right, and I know across the board, Stone Sour are a little softer, and they have maybe a few more acoustic ones. But Slipknot have plenty of acoustic ones, and Stone Sour have plenty of heavier ones. I think I've just realised I'm a real basic bitch when it comes to Slipknot. I haven't got the depth and breadth of knowledge you have.
I'm the same with Stone Sour.
I think I prefer Stone Sour.
That's fine.
My name's DJ, and I prefer Stone Sour. It's
fine. That's absolutely everyone's got their own opinion. It's fine. You're wrong.
You're wrong. Yeah, you're wrong. Yeah, I knew it was coming. I'm fucking don't try and do my thing. That's my thing. I do. Come doing that shit on me.
So yeah, the argument. So. The biggest Slipknot song you can think of, and the biggest one everyone can think of, is always going to be Duality. Duality is Slipknot. That's if you don't know Slipknot and you hear Duality, you go, oh yeah, I think I've heard this. I still think the biggest Stone Sour song is Through the Glass. Because that might be biased from my side. That was the first ever big track I heard by Stone Sour, and that was very much seeing Corey Taylor in a different light. So I think that's what's caused that division in my head.
I've just got them up on Spotify, and Through the Glass is their most played, 306 million. It's the number one.
So I think from that intro to them as well. So obviously you've got the knowing Slipknot and growing up with Slipknot and the rage and amazing awesomeness that comes from Slipknot, and then seeing Corey Taylor. Obviously, I fell in love with the man because he's beautiful and his voice can do incredible things. But that is very much oh, this is your other band. This is where you tried things that aren't just screamy, shouty, punch the person next to you in the face. Yeah, which again, Slipknot are my favourite track, not a dig.
Yeah, my introduction to them was 30-31-50 from Come Whatever May. Mm-hmm. It was on a NFL Street.
Oh wow!
Yeah, on the PS2.
Oh wow!
Yeah. No, that sound like certain games like people always mention like Tony Hawk's Underground or Need for Speed. Like NFL Street is a slept on, right? Soundtrack. It had quite a lot of rock, new metal, things like that. So that's where I was introduced to Stone Sour there. I can remember it clear as day, making some stupidly proportioned, brightly coloured, you make really shite.
You just go way over the top. Yeah. Need for Speed, I think, was a really good one for tracks like that. They had like Almost Easy and like proper revenge tracks on it. But yeah, it is like Stone Sour are the baby brother to Slipknot.
Maybe, but I've decided I'm coming out the closet. I might have seen Slipknot in concert twice.
All pales in comparison to Corey Taylor's version of SpongeBob SquarePants.
He does nail it. Absolutely smashes it. And that's speaking of live music. I don't know about you. I definitely want to be getting out there more. But it's just effort and money. But we need to be doing it. And we need to be doing advance tickets.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've just sent you the link on XSLF for playing Waterloo again. In March.
And Slipknot.
Slipknot, the Slipknot cover band, are also playing Waterloo. So, yeah.
There's always been so many good local gigs. Like you were a bit under the weather, but a few of us went to see the Parker Monkeys, another local band. My God. You pick the right indie tracks.
Oh, my God, Parker Monkeys we've seen before. We saw them at the
beer festival.
The beer festival, yeah. They were fucking amazing. They were really good.
We haven't really got any lined up, have we?
No, I don't think we've got any big ones lined up. I keep speaking to people who have got Paramore tickets. I'm like, fucking go away. But I've spoken to a lot of people that aren't doing Download this year.
Really?
And so a lot of people are just like, yeah. Again, the headliners are pretty up there, but again, they're doing like 4 days, aren't they? Metallica are doing 2 of the days. So it's.
Presumably, well, with their backlog, they'll do 2 different sets, though.
Yeah, absolutely. They've got enough to do like about 3 greatest hits albums now. So, yeah, they'll be completely different sets. But again, there must be overlap. You can't go see them in like one day and not the other, and then not hear Sandman or not hear Puppets.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, I reckon there'll definitely be overlap.
They'll have 2 or 3 bankers, but then maybe mix it up.
Absolutely. Oh, you'd have to. Oh, I'm pretty sure you'd have to. But yeah, I can't think of any big ones. Speaking of the Waterloo, though, we went and saw your students.
Yeah,
that was a good night.
That was an interesting experience. Yeah. My God, some of the all the bands we saw 2 bands that night and then pieced the scene because it was a school night. Well, you know, we're getting old now.
Yeah. I mean, you're getting old. I'm fine.
Do you want to?
I'm
the what?
Words.
The what?
Can't even bring myself to say.
Because you're getting like early like sea lion is what you are.
Yeah.
I'll put you in the home soon.
I am. Yeah.
Yeah. No, some of my students, they seem to have a range of influences. They said, "Sir, we've got a gig on." They mentioned that they've played the Waterloo before through some Rock Academy. Do you know?
Yeah, it's Upbeat Rock Academy. So it's the guys from Deadbeats, I believe, have set it up, and it's where they have I think it's by Paulton Way. I think it's your neck of the woods.
Well, it makes sense.
And so they've got a music school. So they've got all different music teachers on hand to teach instruments, but then they also put the kids in bands. So like they'll also go, oh well, you're a guitarist. We've got a vocalist that wants to, and then they'll get them to jam together at the place. And then they'll put bands together and have them play at the Waterloo. Yeah,
I didn't have any expectations. I didn't know what kind of music they play. Like the kid that mentioned they've done it before and invited me down. Their vocalist. He was like, I've only ever really heard him sing like Beatles and softer rock and more classic rock of that kind of era. And he bloody nailed it. And then I didn't know what the guitarist and bassist were like, you know, and they brought it. I didn't know their drummer is not one of our students, and they had a female vocalist as well. But like having the Huevos to do that, get up on stage, like, it wasn't a packed club, but they had family, they had friends, they seemed well supported, they seemed to have a good time. I'm glad they were the first band on. Like, you know, it was drawn lots. It wasn't like they were the smallest or the you know, poorest. But yeah, no, they really brought some energy. Like, again, the singer then played, he did a song using the keyboard as well. So
they played some really old school Monkey stuff as well. Like, I've never heard, they played A Certain Kind of Romance. I've never heard that done live, and I was like, that is cool. And yeah, played When the Sun Goes Down. And there was some really good mix of indie tracks in there as well. Some really
they really
stuff.
brought it for a good half an hour, 40 minutes.
45 minutes. Yeah, it was solid. Yeah, it was good. That was a good night. Cool kids, man.
Yeah, well, it's amazing how talented some of the kids we have are. A lot of schools, you sometimes forget when you're trying to teach them about the rock cycle or urbanization in Africa. You don't actually get to see them as a person. So just to see them express themselves in a different way, and you know, some of them are quite shy, you know, young people, and obviously you were laughing at me because I run a Dungeons and Dragons club at school.
Because you're that cool.
King of the nerds, like, respect my crown.
I thought I was going to get fucked there. I thought you were winding up for it.
I know what I am, I own it, and respect my title. King of the nerds. I am what I am. But like we were just talking like, oh, is he the bassist? So he's the rogue, and you see that
you were. Yeah.
I love being nerdy shit, man. But you know, it was impressive. They did tell me to give them a shout out when we eventually start recording again.
Here's the shout out. Shout out! You were fucking well cool.
I feel awful now because I've actually forgotten the name of the band.
I mean, that's terrible.
Oh yeah, fuck you, buddy. And one of the lads has actually listened to most of the podcast episodes, but I'm not gonna name him by name and embarrass him. But yeah,
cool kids, man. They were cool as fuck. It was a good night, that. They nailed it.
It just makes me feel inept. I've always known I've been musically
same.
Musically poor. Like, that's why I try and focus on remembering lyrics or other stupid facts. But as we know, we can only fill our brains with so much nonsense, and I've chosen to fill it with other geeky nonsense and such and such.
Yeah. I don't know what mine's filled with, but I'll find out one day.
Well, I don't all the time, but it was the fact that I could, as I played for you and Sister's Boyfriend earlier, a video goal of the month competition from 2006 in the Premier League, and I could remember most of those goals. Yet sometimes I will forget a PIN code to my credit card. This is like, no, brain. We've got our the thicker neurons need to like die and go into long-term memory. You're like, I need to make some space for some more up-to-date knowledge.
I'm always with names. People coming to me with names now, and I'm like, oh, fuck. So I'm like, oh, hello, Sunbeam. How are you doing?
Right, babes.
I don't know
How you doing,
what
mate?
called.
Hi, buddy.
Yeah, it's really
I'm the worst. Like, if I change a seating plan...
Yeah.
I associate kids with a space sometimes. Like someone will come into my class and go, do you teach such and such? And I'll point at an empty chair. Because mentally I've made the association with name X and space Y. That's where, such and such sits. But no, I don't know. Anything you're looking forward to over the next year music-wise? Are you going to try and go to more gigs, local stadium, festival? What are you feeling for the next year?
So I've not bought Rebellion tickets yet because I'm not blown away by what they've booked so far. Like they'll book more bands as the year goes on, and it might turn into the headliners might be amazing. They're not doing our fest stage this year, so they're not doing the stuff on the prom. They are bringing that back for the year after. So I think it is just all inside the Winter Gardens this year. So I'll keep my eye on that, and then if the headliners come up, I will try and budget and get some tickets. But yeah, I think trying to get to the Waterloo a bit more, like you said, and try and see some more local things. Again, with it being so close, we should.
Yeah, it's stupid. It's a slap on the wrist that we don't, because they all have on all their t-shirts. Is it small venue, big attitude or something?
Yes.
And it does seem a bit like a cult following, and you'll bump into taxi drivers, and I know a few people where they go and. Yeah,
whenever you're in there as well, it's such a great atmosphere, and it's the cheap beer, and it's
you couldn't move when the parking monkeys were playing. It was ridiculous.
I had toothache, as rock and roll as that is. I was in bed by 9.
Well, being the vertically challenged person I am, I was struggling a little bit. I could listen to the band, but I couldn't see bugger all. I really do want to push myself listening to new things. Or not let's say listening to new things, but trying to put some people on the shelf. Yeah. It's like that, right? Yes, Disturbed, you're my safe space. Yes, Bullet, I can come back to you. But yeah, I've got to mix it up a little bit and not try and discover things from the 2000s that I missed. And I don't know.
Yeah, discovering bands that split up 3 years ago.
Oh god, it's like when you find a new series, you start spamming it, and it's only got 2 seasons.
Yeah, because they cancelled it. Yeah, it's the worst. But yeah, man, that was it. Just a super quick podcast.
Yeah, we're back. We're back. We apologise for not recording as much, but winter, flu, work,
That was it. And now it's can't even blame COVID. It's not.
I don't know. Some of these flus have been pretty rancid.
Oh
it's taking some people out.
I work in an office full of parents, and literally, if one's off school, then they're all off school, and it goes around the house twice, and then it's like, sod that.
But no, I've missed recording. I must admit. We can get back on some ideas.
Yeah, same. So we've got the list of things that we still need to cover, bands that we want to cover, artists. But yeah, it's nice to be sat back and facing a microphone and fucking up sentences for the world to hear. I've missed it.
I smashed all mine. I do English well dead good.
I just get ahead of myself with words, and then I start stumbling over myself. It's you think, what? Oh, we've got 4,000 downloads now.
Jesus, we hit 4K.
So... time for record, we're on 3,993, I think, or something. So when this actually goes out in a day or two, we'll be at 4K downloads.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate that, everyone.
Isn't it? Cool. That we've been gone since August as well, and people have still been finding it and tuning in and maybe sharing it with people. It's quite mad. Like our Spotify Wrapped, we mentioned it earlier. The one for the podcast, we're number 1 podcast for 20 people or something daft. It's like...
Yeah, and I've only got 10 of those accounts.
That's... and one of them isn't me. Yeah, but yeah, some of the people, it still blows my mind that people actually want to hear us talk. So yeah, we're back. Thanks for listening. I'm sorry if the audio has been a bit iffy on this one, because we're trying out a new laptop that runs very fucking slowly and sounds like it's going to take off when it overheats.
Kill me!
Yeah. All the fancy gear to record with, and then to actually hold the recording, we're using something from the 1970s. It's pretty fucking...
I've had to take the phone off the hook, dial-up thing.
Yeah. It will take off that laptop if I leave it for too long. It'll just melt through your table. But yeah, thank you for listening, guys, and we will see you again very soon.
Thanks for listening to our...
Thank you. Bye-bye.